We're here because free speech is under attack. We're here because people are being convinced that socialism works. We're here because people are being judged guilty until proven innocent. We are fighting back with facts. This is not a safe zone, so buckle up, Buttercup. This is the raw, naked truth.
China and Russia strengthen ties, bank bailouts, and more. Welcome to the Raw Naked Truth. I'm your host, Eric Lupkin, and here's the news you need to know. Swiss banking giant UBS agreed to buy rival Credit Suisse in a historic emergency deal aiming to restore calm amid a global banking crisis. UBS will pay $3.23 billion to acquire the 167-year-old Credit Suisse, Switzerland's second largest bank. UBS also will assume $5.4 billion in Credit Suisse's losses. But the Swiss government, which pushed the deal, will backstop billions in potential losses. Just after the agreement was announced, the U.S. Federal Reserve, European Central Bank, and other major central banks issued statements seeking to ease market panic with assurances that customer deposits remain safe in the wake of the collapse of two regional U.S. banks earlier this month. Meanwhile, New York Community Bank has agreed to buy a big part of Signature Bank, the second bank to fail in the current banking crisis, in a $2.7 billion deal. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corp announced this on Sunday. Signature Bank's 40 branches will take the name of Flagstar Bank, a New York Community Bank subsidiary, effective Monday. The FDIC said New York Community Bank will take over $38.4 billion in New York-based Signature Bank's assets, about a third of Signature's $110 billion total when it failed. Signature, based in New York, was a large commercial lender that had pushed into cryptocurrencies seeking growth. Chinese President Xi Jinping is meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow in a show of support. The trip comes after Putin, who made a surprise visit to the occupied Ukrainian city of Mariupol over the weekend, was indicted by the International Criminal Court for alleged war crimes in Ukraine. Xi's two-day visit is part of a diplomatic push by Beijing to increase its influence on the world stage. This state visit in the middle of the war shows that Xi Jinping sees the relationship with Russia as absolutely quintessential, according to Alexander Grubiev of the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un called for his isolated nation to be prepared for nuclear counterattacks as the United States and South Korea start major joint military drills, state media KCNA said on Monday. North Korea staged its own exercises to strengthen its war deterrence and nuclear counterattack capability over the weekend, including the launch of a ballistic missile with a mock nuclear warhead. The U.S. and South Korea have been conducting annual exercises this month and continued with air and sea drills on Sunday. The U.S. and South Korean navies and Marines are starting their first large-scale amphibious landing exercises in 5 years on Monday. Republicans and Democrats sparred over the weekend about the possibility that George Soros-backed Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg will indict former President Donald Trump soon in connection with hush money paid to porn star Stormy Daniels. Michael Avenatti, who was Stormy Daniels' attorney before being convicted on fraud charges, stated the information in the records being presented shows Bragg cannot possibly win the case at trial. It has long been said that a district attorney could indict a ham sandwich if he wanted. The indictment does not mean that Donald Trump will be convicted of any crimes. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tweeted that charges against Trump would amount to an outrageous abuse of power by a radical district attorney. Other leading congressional legal experts called the investigation of Trump politically motivated. Representative Adam Schiff, who championed the now discredited Steele dossier and spread lies about Trump colluding with Russia, said McCarthy is once again playing the part of criminal defense counsel to shield Trump from accountability. That's the raw naked truth. You can catch every episode of The Raw Naked Truth at xvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcasts app, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Audible, and other platforms that respect freedom of speech. We'll see you next time.